Okay, kids, take two on this job. Woo-wee. What we got here is a 2010 Jeep Wrangler Sport, which apparently makes a difference. The Sport model. It's got the 6-cylinder in it. What are we doing here? We are doing a heater core. Where are all the parts? Well, this is all the dash. There's the main carapace, the skeletal aluminum housing, just tons and tons and tons. Here's the heater box. Alright, now, my opinion, this is a shit show of a job. You gotta disassemble the fuse box that's right here, unplug a bunch of the plugs. They gotta go through there, which means you gotta take out the battery holding box, disconnect your power steering thing right here, just off of this little mount right here. That's all it is. Just take off the bolt to get at the last fastener for that. That's this battery box and fuse relay center. There's a little box piece that comes off right there. That's in here anyway. Underneath the hood also, which means this also air box had to come loose just to get it out of the way. Back there are two heater hose lines. They were a bitch to get. Knowing what I know now, I don't really see a simple solution for doing them. There is a way you could do it if you really wanted to, but we're not going to discuss that. It involves cutting the new heater core pipes, use some hose, some clamps. You could, in theory, if this was my vehicle, knowing what I know now, this is how I would do it, is right here, this bracket, or this aluminum housing would probably get cut. Pull the heater core out, and then re-welded. But that's if it was my fucking car. It's not, it's a customer, so I have to do it right. You do need both the shifter assemblies out. You have to get the center console out. That is a pain in the ass. The actual housing, the actual dash itself is pretty simple. There's one right here. There's a couple little access panels. You pop off the little caps. There's 13mm nuts down there. Down here there are two grounds. There's also the same two grounds on the other side. You have to get those. 13mm nut on top. There are two 10mm headed bolts right here. Two on that side. On the floor, this was a little tricky. I didn't notice these at first. There is a little L bracket that's 10mm on, I think, both of them. There's a nut right here and a bolt right there. Either way, take those off. You're gonna need them out. I started to take this bracket out. I realized I don't need to do that, so this has to be retightened. The steering column obviously has to come out. Oh, last thing underneath the hood. About the underhood, I had a bitch of a time. You are probably going to be best off just cutting the heater hoses and shoving them up further. These clamps are clocked down from below, and you can't reach at them and do that. The other part you need to do is a 10mm nut that is for your AC evaporator core or AC lines going into the HVAC. Remove the nut and blow a hole in the ozone, or legally and correctly collect your refrigerant and dispose of as per EPA laws. It is highly recommended that you take out the 4 bolts on each one of the seats. They're 18mm heads. The driver's side, of course, has this simple little plug for the seat belt. Pinch bolt on here is a 13mm head. And there are... Hold on. Okay, I was interrupted slightly by the wife, letting me know she's going to the pharmacy. One thing you're probably going to miss at first is on the brake booster. There's a bracket here. 4 studs come through to the driver's side. You have to get these 13mm nuts off. So make sure you get your nuts off, kids. Helps to have a little bit of lube. Yeah. Also a universal and a very long extension, and they came right out. At that point in time, the other thing, you have a little clip that holds your rod for your brake booster in. Here's the clip, so you can physically see what it looks like. What you'll end up doing is you'll have to bend this little center little tab right here off, or bend it back and work it out. It is kind of a hassle, a little tedious. Flashlight helps. At that point in time, I ran into a big problem trying to get the heater hoses through their hole right here, because if you cut the heater hoses first, pull them out of your way, then you can get at your heater hose clamps. I used needle nose vice grips, I think was the end result, which worked. Nothing else really seemed to work for shit. Otherwise what happens is the clamps themselves fucking kept catching on the lip there, and I couldn't pull the whole damn thing out. You will have a single large plug right there that has to be undone from the body harness. You have another plug for your antenna, and you have to feed all those plugs that came out of the relay housing and fuse panel. Those all have to be fed through that hole right there that I'm pointing at, and that's it. You will need a second person to hump this motherfucker out of here. You do not need, at this point in time, to get your instrument cluster out. I took it out. But once that's out, you have a huge, massive undertaking now. Remove your, let's see here, airbag, and you're going to have a million little screws here. I actually left all of this, all the HVAC controls, radio, everything, till I got it out of the vehicle. Usually when a factory puts in a car, or puts in a dash, all this is pre-assembled, and they just put the whole dash in and just have to do a couple connectors, a couple couple plugs, couple connectors, couple bolts, and they're done. They do not assemble the dash while they're sitting in the vehicle. It takes way too much time. You have a million little tiny screws at this point in time. I've got tons and tons and tons and tons of little screws. Eventually you take all that out. It's just a matter of doing it. I don't really have any simple way to tell you how to do this job. Steering column, make sure you don't spin the wheel. You don't want to fuck that up. Take the HVAC box out. Once this is physically off of that skeletal framework, the thing just slips right out. There is one Phillips head right here for a piece that holds the two ends of the heater core, the two tips. Yep. So hopefully this helps somebody at some point in time. You do not need to split the housing in half or anything like that. Now, if you were to cut the aluminum brackets that go this way, you could probably just slide the fucking heater core out inside the vehicle, cut the pipes, slide the new one in with cut pipes already, and then set up your pipes through the hole, through the firewall. Couple heater hose with a couple good clamps on it. You'd probably be alright. I've done it before on vehicles where it was crazy insane. Person did not want to pay for AC recharging and all that other shit, so it does it. It's not the right way to do it, but you could do it. And then you weld that aluminum bracket back on. Hopefully you got good welding skills and you can line up all your screw holes. So if anybody wants to do this shit, this applies from some. I know the heater core is the same all the way back into 2007s. I thought I'd fucking turn off the goddamn heat in the house. God damn it, she fucking keeps turning shit on. Wasting my monies. But it goes all the way up into 20. I know that this is a 2010. I think it goes all the way up into like 2015s or something, or all the same on this. So if you're doing this job, expect you're going to be at it all goddamn day, and that's if you are a reasonably competent person. I like to believe I am. I've done a lot of heater cores over the years. This is not my first rodeo, and this one is challenging even to me. As a mobile mechanic without a full shop and without all the instructions on how to do this, I'm still managing to do it all right. I haven't broken anything, which is, I think there's a couple little clips or something, little retainers in the center console, which got cracked. But either way, hope somebody learned something from this shit. And once again, peace out, bitches.